Hey guys, it's BroUWhack. So do you remember a couple of days ago when I made that video talking about how Blizzard might be doing a little bit too much with the experimental mode? Well, it turns out Blizzard doesn't really care what I have to say because they're not slowing down anytime soon because we just got a new experimental update. However, what makes this experimental update probably the most significant compared to the other ones that I covered is that 90% of this experimental update is just nerfs. And not only that, this covers like about 10 or 11 different heroes. So this has got to be one of the biggest experimental updates that we've ever seen in regards to a patch that's probably gonna go live. So what I wanted to do was to showcase a lot of these changes, compare them to the live servers, and to really show you guys, okay, are these actually gonna be significant changes, comparing them side to side? Because on paper, any kind of nerf can seem detrimental, but when you actually see it in execution, it can be like, okay, maybe it's not so bad. So starting us off is gonna be Ana, and it's just gonna be a simple ammo reduction. You're actually going to see a lot of ammo reductions with a lot of these heroes, but Ana has such a big clip, so 2 less bullets, 14 to 12, shouldn't be too big of a change. Ashe got the same treatment here, except it's going to be 1 extra bullet, going from 15 to 12 bullets, which this is actually going to be very crucial because it takes such a long time to reload. However, her damage also got reduced while it's aiming down sight, all the way to 80 per shot, so over time you will see this kind of take a hit towards her damage, but not to the point where she's going to be completely useless. Baptiste got a huge hit in the nerf department where now he only has 10 bullets compared to 12, so not that bad of a change, but it's really his regeneration burst that I want to focus on because now his total healing for allies got reduced to half, 70 heal per second. Junkrat, out of all heroes, also got a nerf where the impact damage to his grenade launcher now got reduced to 40 compared to 50. McCree's recovery rate got increased to 0.5 seconds, and you could definitely feel this whenever you play the experimental update on the training range with McCree, and it kind of sucks because this is all McCree has is his DPS on his Peacekeeper. Moira got some changes, but at this point every single patch has a Moira change, but the lingering to her healing got reduced to 2 seconds, but on top of that she did get a little tiny buff to compensate for it. Now it's a 70 heal per second rather than 65, but it's not that big of a buff when you really see what else she got, which is that her healing resource consumption rate got increased to 14 per second. That's a 27% increase, and you can definitely see it, especially if you just hold down the right trigger. The damage also got changed as well, where the angle of the sucky suck got reduced by 37%. That whole change has been trying to go onto live servers for the longest time. However, the healing resource gained got upped to 50%. So while you will be running out of heals a lot quicker, you'll be gaining the heals a lot quicker based on how good you suck. So all the gay e-boys and all the e-girls out there, your time has come now. Orisa got one of the few buffs in here where the halt radius got increased from 4 to 5, but the speed to the projectile got decreased to 25. It's just kind of funny because wasn't that the original speed last time? Just like McCree, Pharah's recovery time got increased by 0.1 of a second, and you can really feel it when you play the experimental mode. Symmetra's secondary damage got reduced from 140 to 120. You're really going to see this against tanks. Against squishy heroes, it's kind of going to be insignificant because 40 damage between 2 shots, well, you're going to already finish them off anyway. You didn't need that extra 40 damage. Widowmaker, haven't seen you in these updates in a while, but her ammo got increased by 35, and that's going to be really good for her secondary fire, but terrible when it comes to her scope shots because now it's going to take 5 whole bullets to shoot 1 single Widowmaker shot. That's 6 bullets, assuming that you charge all the way, compared to 10 bullets in each and every single clip. Plus, now there's a fall-off damage of 50% whenever you're at a 60 to 85% meter radius. I really couldn't measure it that well, but it's really the scope ammo that's going to be the biggest change for Widowmaker. And Zarya's secondary ammo now can only fire 4 shots compared to 5 shots previously because now it costs 5 more shots. So those were a lot of changes, and all of them basically nerfs. There was really only a handful of buffs, but even the buffs kind of got outshined by either the nerfs that tried to counteract the buffs or just the significant changes to the other heroes, like with Widowmaker or Moira, especially Moira. It seems like every single week there's a different change for that woman. But this is exactly the point that I tried to make in my previous video where I talked about Blizzard making a bunch of changes when it seems like they're just kind of going back on the changes that they made before beforehand. I mean, just take Orisa for an example in this change. I mean, yeah, the changes that she got might not be that significant, but it's just going back to how it was beforehand. The radius and the speed are just going back to how it was before she received the previous changes before this experimental update. So again, this is the point that I was trying to make, and it just seems like Blizzard is blindly throwing darts at a dartboard and hoping that something sticks when they're not really taking their time when changing all these heroes, pushing the changes onto live servers, and then just reverting it back, making this roller coaster of emotions for all these players that love these heroes. I mean, I will give Blizzard credit though. They are updating the game and they're keeping on top of it and making changes. I mean, this game is 4 years old. For a 4-year-old game to get this much love from its developers, I can't get hot and bothered over that. So it'd be so childish and bratty of me to say, oh, they're not making the right changes, when at least they're trying to support the game. And it's not like they're making random changes on whatever they feel like that morning. No, they're obviously having some sort of thought process behind making Ana's ammo get reduced, or Symmetra's damage get reduced, or by Orisa getting these changes back to how they were before she got her original changes. I just don't understand half the time why Pharah's getting a change or McCree's getting a change when there's other heroes like Ashe that need a change. Now, granted, yeah, she did get a change, so props to Blizzard, but why Roadhog didn't get a change in this experimental update when he's running rampant? Why Junkrat's getting a change when he's probably at the bottom tier of DPS heroes right now? It just kind of baffles me that they picked a lot of these heroes for this experimental update and not other heroes like Roadhog or like Bastion. But I also gotta remind myself that this is just the experimental card. It's not like these changes are set in stone. It's not like the PTR where if they do update the PTR, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna get pushed onto live servers either the following 2 or 3 weeks from now. However, it is the experimental card and they sometimes treat it like the PTR. Whenever they make these tiny little changes, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's probably gonna go onto live servers, because why would they spend so much time trying to tweak the recovery time for Pharah if it's just going to be 0.1 seconds? You can pretty much bet that that is going to go onto live servers, so why wouldn't people believe that these Moira changes going to go, or these Baptiste changes going to go, or Widowmaker, or Zarya? You know, these other significant changes that probably don't need to go onto live servers just yet, rather changes for Roadhog that needs to go onto live servers because so many people are complaining about it. Now, I'm not complaining about it just yet because I don't hate the Roadhog meta, but I do know people absolutely dread Overwatch because of Roadhog. So that's why I'm bringing up Roadhog so much in this video, because, well, that is a hero that needs to get focused on, yet they're bringing all these other heroes. So that's just kind of what confuses me on this change, especially all the big changes that's going to ultimately change the Widow players and how they play, or the Baptiste players and how they play. I don't know, just let me know what you think about the experimental update, if you think these changes are necessary, like if I'm missing something, because it's always hard to form an opinion on experimental update, because it's not like I play copious amounts of games on the experimental card. It's not like anybody really plays copious amounts of games. You really have to wait for the changes to go onto live servers for you to experience a true game where people aren't just playing the heroes that are changing. And maybe that's why they brought so many hero changes, because they want people to play a full game with DPS, support, and tank heroes, not just the Moira because Moira got changed. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.